Hello, this is of 6th grade primary school. That's our weekly time of science, and today we will have a very important collection of questions about Unit 1, which we have studied, which deal with mass and weight. We have studied everything, I think, that about mass and weight. We have studied that mass is the amount of matter in the body, or in the body contains, and we have studied that the weight is the attraction or the gravitational force by which the body is attracted toward the earth. And also we have studied the units of measuring mass, which is gram, kilogram, and ton. Also we have studied the unit of measuring weight, which is only Newton, to the great scientist Isaac Newton. Also we have studied the balance or scales, which deal with each one of them, mass or weight. We have studied that mass is measured by balances or scales called, or for example, 1-arm scale or 2-arm scale. Also we have studied that weight is measured by one only scale, which is called a spring scale. Also we have studied that mass has no direction. Mass doesn't change from place to place, but weight changes from place to place, and weight has a direction always towards the Earth's center. So now let's start our collection about Unit 1 or Lesson 1, which in Unit 1 only contains or consists of one lesson only, which is mass and weight, which is our collection today is very important about mass and weight. So let's start this question with the first question. I think this question is very easy to most of you, which is correct the underlined word. Again, we will start now with a very easy question, which is that correct the underlined word. So now let's start. First question says that weight is the amount of matter in an object, and here I have an underlined word, which is weight. Again, weight is the amount of matter in an object. So the answer will be mass. Again, weight is the amount of matter in an object. The answer will be mass, not weight. Another question. Some matters have mass, whatever their physical state, solid or liquid or gas. Some matters only have mass. The question says that whatever their physical state, solid or liquid or gas. So the answer surely will be that all matters. Again, all matters will have mass. All matters have mass, whatever their physical state, solid or liquid or gas, or whatever their place. So we have said that more and more. Mass doesn't change from place to place. Again, mass doesn't change from place to place. So this question says that some matters have mass, whatever their physical state, solid, liquid or gas. So the answer will be all matters, not some matter but all matter. كل المواد ليها كتلة مهما كان حالتها الفيزيائية أو المادية، solid or liquid or gas، صلب أو سائل أو غاز. Another question. Some matters have mass, whatever their place. Some matters have mass, whatever their place, in hand, on the moon, on any planet. Again, the question says that some matter. Here I have an underlined word, which is some. يعني هنا محتاج أصحح كلمة some. Please concentrate in this question. When we correct the underlined word, we correct the underlined word only. يعني لما يطلب مني سؤال correct underlined word بصحح الكلمة تحتها خط فقط. Okay? Again, the question says that some matters have mass, whatever their place, in hand, on the moon or on any planet. So the answer would be that all matters. Again, the question is similar to the previous question. All matters have mass, whatever their place in hand, on the moon or on any planet. Another question. Complete question. This question, please, I advise you to read the question carefully till the end word. في سؤال complete, please اقرا السؤال لآخر كلمة فيه. Again, the question says that the measurement unit of mass is what or what, where the measurement unit of weight is what. Again, the measurement unit of mass is points or points, where the measurement unit of weight is point. So, the measurement unit of mass, as we have studied, gram or kilogram, where the measurement unit of weight is Newton, also as we have studied. Again, we have 3 units of measuring mass, which is gram, kilogram, and ton, but only we have 1 unit for measuring mass, which is Newton. Again, we have only 1 measurement unit of mass, which is gram, kilogram, and ton, but only we have 1 unit for measuring weight, which is Newton. Another question. Mass is measured by what, whereas weight is measured by what. In this question please concentrate. I have a note. هنا في ملاحظة مهمة جدا. لازم نركز قوي وناخد بالنا من كلمة measured in or measured by. I said this more and more. قلتها أكتر مرة, but please concentrate. It's very important advice. What's the difference between them? Measured in or measured by? Here I can write measured in, okay, and measured by. Okay, measured in, I need units. Here I need units, such as gram, kilogram, ton, newton for the weight, for example. But measured by, I need the device, الجهاز. يبقى again لازم ناخد بالنا كويس قوي. When I said mass, for example, mass is measured in, I can say gram, kilogram, or ton. But when I say mass is measured by, I can say balance scale, two-arm scale, sensitive two-arm scale, or sensitive balance scale, and so on, or any scale which we have studied. But measured in again, I need units. يبقى لما بيلاقي في السؤال measured in بحتاج اكتب units, measured by بحتاج اكتب الديفايس او الجهاز اللي هستخدمه عشان اعمل measurement للماس او للويت. So again the question says that mass is measured by what, whereas or while weight is measured by what. So again the question says mass is measured by what, whereas or while weight is measured by what. So the answer will be that mass is measured by balance scale as we have studied, but or whereas weight is measured by spring scale. Again, mass is measured by balance scale, whereas weight is measured by spring scale. Another question, it's also a complete question. Mass is constant and is not affected by what? Again, mass is constant and is not affected by what? Surely we can say that mass is constant value and is not affected by place. Again, mass is constant value or stable value and is not affected by changing the place. So we can say that again and again, mass doesn't change from place to place. Only weight, which is the only measurement today you have studied, is the one who changes from place to place. But mass doesn't change from place to place. Again, mass is a constant value and is not affected by place. Another question, an object weight depends on what or what? An object weight depends on what or what? Here another point I want to explain more and more. Here when we find the word depend, لما الاقي كلمة depend, I need to write the factors. عايز اكتب العامل اللي بتأثر على الويت. We have studied 3 factors affecting weight. Do you remember them? We have studied that weight is affected by place, also the mass of the planet, also the distance from the center of the planet. So we can write them. Factor نكتب مع بعض factors affecting weight. Okay, we have 3 factors affecting weight, which are number 1 mass, number 2 place, number 3 distance from the center, okay. So again, weight is affected by 3 factors, which are mass, place, distance from center, and please let me explain them in details. عايز اشرح بالتفاصيل what are those 3 factors. ايه هم الفاكتور اللي بيأثروا على الويت. We said that the first factor affecting weight is the mass. We can write mass here, and imagine that there is an Earth planet, there is the moon. Okay, here is the moon, there is the Earth planet which we live on. Okay. So now we have a break and we will get back soon. Okay, we are back again, our dear students of 6th grade primary school, and let's complete our important collection about Unit 1, which contains only 1 lesson about mass and weight. Before the break, I explained the factors affecting weight. We have explained that weight depends on 3 factors, which are place, mass, and distance from center. And now I explain them in details. هشرحهم بتفاصيل أكتر. The first factor which affecting weight is the mass. Imagine that here I have the Earth and the moon. We know that the Earth is much bigger than the moon, and we know that Earth's planet, which we live on, is much bigger from other planets. So, which weight is more on Earth or in a planet, or in a planet like the moon, or a body like the moon? Imagine that here a person standing on the Earth and another person with the same mass standing on the moon. Which one has more weight here? If the weight here is 1200 Newton, will be here weight equal 200 only Newton. So why is the difference of them? ليه هنا فرق كبير قوي بين الويت on the earth 1200 and on the moon? Because the earth is much bigger, is more bigger than the moon. So because the earth is much bigger than the moon, it attracts things more than the moon. So what about the planet Jupiter? طب لو فكرنا في Jupiter for example, يعني weight on Jupiter surely will be more than on the earth and more than on any other planet. Why? Because the mass of the planet Jupiter is much more than the other planet. So imagine that if someone traveled to the sun, surely we cannot travel to the sun because it's very hot. It has the highest temperature in the world. So imagine that if someone traveled to the sun, he will have more and more weight than the other planet. Why? Because the sun has more mass. So the first factor affecting weight, أول عامل بيأثر على الوزن هو الماس، الكتلة. So that we can say that when mass increases, weight increases, and vice versa. What's meant by vice versa? vice versa معناها على العكس صحيح، يعني لما الويت بيزيد الماس بتزيد، لما الويت بيقل أو decrease الماس برضه decrease أو بتقل. So we can say that when mass increases, weight increases, and vice versa. So we can say that when mass decreases, weight decreases, and vice versa. So what about the other factors that affecting weight? We have the place. We have the place. We can write that the place which affecting weight. So imagine that someone here on a planet A and the planet B. Okay, which one will have more weight? Surely on the planet A, the person has more weight. Why? Because it's much bigger. Again, the second factor is similar to the first factor. Mass and the place, they are similar on depending on the weight or on affecting the weight. So we can say that when mass increases, weight increases. When the place changes, weight changes also. So what about the third factor? إيه هو العامل الثالث اللي بيأثر على الويت? We said that it's the distance from the center. It's a very different factor from the two factors I have explained. The distance from the planet center. Imagine that there is a planet here and I have a person on the center. Okay? Imagine that he will have, for example, 1000 Newton. What happened to his weight when he traveled away from the center? We know that the center here on the earth is the equator. هو خط الاستواء أو المركز اللي موجود في الكرة الأرضية. أي planet ليه مركز ليه center because all the planets like spheres زي بالظبط شكل الكرة. So when the person travel to the or away from the center, the weight decreases. It will be 980, for example, Newton. So what happened here? Here the weight decreases when the distance increases. So we can see that when the distance from the planet center increases, لما المسافة بتزيد, the weight decreases, الوزن هيقل. So the relation here is inversely proportional. So now we have explained all the factors affecting weight. We have three factors affecting weight, which are mass, place, and the distance from center. What is the relation between weight and the mass? It's direct relation. يعني ايه direct relation؟ علاقة طردية means when mass increase, weight increase. Again, when mass increase, weight increase. So let me write this relation because it's very important. So we can see that mass increases. This arrow means increase. Okay, السهم الفوق معناه increase. Weight also increases. Okay. So the relation between mass and weight is direct relation. Direct relation أو علاقة طردية. As we have studied in primary 5, خدنا معنى علاقة طردية معناها إن two factors أو الشيئين دول هم اللي بيزيدوا مع بعض أو increase أو decrease. ده معنى كلمة علاقة طردية. So again, when we can say that when mass increase, weight increase, and when mass decrease, weight decrease, and vice versa. So the relation between mass and weight is direct relation. So what about the relation between mass and distance from the center? We said that when the distance increases, when we go away from the center, the weight decreases. So the relation here is what? Is inverse relation. علاقة عكسية معناها إن كل ما المسافة بتزيد عن السنتر أو ببعد عن السنتر الويت بيقل أو الوزن بيقل because the attraction force decrease. So we can see that when distance increases, when distance increases, okay, this arrow means increases, the weight decreases, okay. So the relation here is what? The relation is inverse relation. Inverse relation means أو معناها علاقة عكسية. Okay, so the relation here is inverse relation because when distance from the center increase, the weight decrease and vice versa. So again, we have two relations opposite to each other. The relation between mass and weight is direct relation. The relation between distance from center and weight is inverse relation. So we must concentrate on in those two relations which affecting weight. Again, we have how many factors affecting weight? Three factors, which are mass, place, and distance from center. We can see again, weight depends on mass, place, and distance from center. So we have three factors affecting weight. Like this question we have explained before the break. The question says that an object's weight depends on, so we can say mass and the place. Also, if we need another factor, distance from center. Again, an object weight depends on its mass and place. Let's now move to another new questions. This question is very interesting question, I think that. But I advise you to concentrate in the first word or in the first two words في سؤال scientific term. Please ركز قوي في أول كلمة أو أول كلمتين because they will be the key word. هم هيكونوا مفتاح الحل. Okay, I need an amount of matter, force, tool, unit, what else? Okay, when we study biology at this term, I need system, I need cell. Okay, ركز قوي. هو مطلوب مني في scientific term ايه بالظبط؟ مطلوب مني system، مطلوب مني device، مطلوب مني unit and so on. So the question says write scientific term أو اكتب المفهوم العلمي. The first question, the amount of matter in an object. The amount of matter in an object. Surely I know all of you know this definition. It will be mass. The amount of matter in an object, it will be mass. Again, the amount of matter in an object, it will be mass as we have studied before. Another question, the force with which a body is attracted towards the earth. The force with which a body is attracted towards the earth, surely it will be weight. It will be weight or gravity. We can say gravity as we have studied before. So again, we must differentiate between mass and weight. Mass again doesn't change from place to place, but weight changes from place to place. The force with which a body is attracted towards the earth, it will be weight. Okay? Okay. Again, the force with which the body is attracted towards the earth is weight. Another question, the measurement unit of mass, which is almost equal to a mass liter of water. The measurement unit of mass, which is almost equal to a mass liter of water. We have studied three units of mass as before. They are gram, kilogram, and ton. Which one of them will be the answer here? Which one will be equal to mass of liter of water? يبقى ركز كويس قوي ما تسرعش. هنا بيقول لي measurement unit of mass. We can write gram, kilogram, and ton. Surely wrong, because here I want the unit which equal to a mass liter of water. Mass liter of water will be kilogram. Surely أنا عندي هنا ثلاث وحدات لقياس الكتلة أو لقياس الماس. They are gram, kilogram, ton. لكن بيطلب مني هنا unit بس تكون equal to a mass liter of water, so it will be kilogram, not gram or not ton. So the answer will be kilogram, as we will see now. Again, the question says that the measurement unit of mass, which is almost equal to a mass liter of water, it will be kilogram. Another question, the measurement unit of weight, which is almost equal to a mass of 100 gram. Again, the measurement unit of weight, which is almost equal to a mass of 100 gram, surely it will be Newton. Again, we have only one unit for measuring weight, which is Newton. Again, the question says that the measurement unit of weight, which is almost equal, the measurement unit of weight, which is almost equal to a mass of 100 gram, it will be Newton, as we have studied before. Another question, I think this question is a problem. An object whose mass on Earth equal to 6 kilogram. Calculate its weight on both surfaces on the Earth and on the Moon. I have explained before, when I found a problem of mass and weight, I have two secret rules. عندي قانونين مهمين جدا أو two secret triangles، مثلثين مهمين جدا أو مثلثين سريين بيدوني كل حاجة عن الماس والويت on the Earth and on the Moon. I will remind you with these two secret laws. فاكرهم مع بعض. The first law is like that. Okay. Here I have width on the earth and mass by 10. Okay, the second law is like that. Here I have width on the earth and width on the moon and by 6. Okay, so I have two rules, which are width on the earth equal mass by 10, width on the earth equal mass by 10, and mass equal width on the earth divide 10. But the other rule deal with width on the earth and width on the moon. Width on the earth equal width on the moon by 6, and width on the moon equal width on the earth divide 6. So I must read the problem carefully to know what I can answer or what I can use. لازم اقرا السؤال كويس قوي او اقرا البروبلم كويس قوي عشان اعرف انا عندي given ايه هي بالظبط المعطيات الموجوده عندي and which rule will I use. هستخدم اي قانون منهم. Okay, so the question here says that the body of mass on earth equal 6 kilogram. هو اداني هنا information واحده بس، معلومه واحده بس، قال لي الماس equal 6 kilogram. And I need weight on the earth and weight on the moon. I need weight on the earth and weight on the moon. Okay, so which rule I can use to get weight on the earth here. يبقى هسأل نفسي سؤال مهم قوي. أنا عندي mass وعايز weight. Again عندي mass وعايز weight. Which rule I can use here? The first rule weight and mass. The second rule weight and weight. So I will use this rule now. طب ليه هستخدم القانون الأول؟ Because it deals with بيتعامل مع weight and mass. Weight and mass أو weight on the earth and mass. So I can write that weight on the earth as I need equal mass by 10. Mass by 10. So it will be what? Mass 6 kilogram as an example by 10 equal 60 what? Concentrate. Weight is measured in Newton, 60 Newton. Okay, so what about weight on the moon? The second demand المطلوب الثاني في المسألة أو in this problem. Here I have weight on the earth, mass, and I need weight on the moon. I need weight on the moon from the second rule. So here I can write that weight on the moon حط صباعي عليها عشان أعرف إزاي أجيب weight on the moon equal weight on the earth divide 6. Weight on the earth divide 6, so it will be or it will equal 60 divide 6 equal 10 Newton again. So again the weight is measured in a unit called Newton. We don't want to forget this Newton. Okay, again weight, even if it is on the earth or in the moon, it is measured by a unit called Newton. Again, even if the weight on the earth or in the moon, it's measured in a unit called Newton. So again يبقى لازم اركز كويس قوي في اي problem خاصه بماس and weight. هعرف كويس قوي مطلوب مني ايه وعندي ايه في البروبلم وهستخدم اي رول. I have two rules. The first rule deal with mass and weight or weight and the mass. Second rule deal with weight on the earth and weight on the moon. يبقى we must concentrate. لازم اركز كويس قوي which rule I will choose to answer all the problem. Okay, so now let's see how we can answer this problem. Okay, weight on the earth equal what? Weight on the earth equal, as we have studied, mass by 10. So it will be 6 by 10 equal 60 Newton. Okay, weight on the moon equal weight on the earth divide 6, so it will be 10 Newton as we have answered this problem before. Okay, let's move to another easy question, but it's at the same time difficult question if we don't concentrate in all the choice. هو سؤال سهل لكن في نفس الوقت سلاح ذو حدين لو ما ركزناش في كل الإجابات المتاحة قدامنا. Okay, choose the right answer or choose the correct answer. Choose the right answer. اختار الإجابة الصحيحة. لازم أقرأ كويس قوي كل الإجابات المتاحة. The first question says that the device of measuring weight is 1 arm scale, 2 arm scale, digital scale, spring scale. Again, the device of measuring weight is 1 arm scale, 2 arm scale, digital scale, spring scale. Surely we studied that, we have studied that. The device which is used in measuring weight is spring scale. Spring scale هو الميزان الوحيد اللي درسناه اللي بيقيس الويت أو الوزن. Okay, another question. An object whose weight is 20 Newton on Earth, its mass is equal to what? It's a problem 2. هنا في مسألة تاني برضو، وعشان أحل أي problem mass and weight I must write the two rules. لازم أكتب كويس قوي القانونين الخاصين بالmass and weight. Let me remind you with those two rules. Okay, I have two rules. عندي قانونين بحل بيهم الماس والويت. The first rule here I have weight on the earth mass by 10. Okay. Second rule, here I have weight on the earth also and weight on the moon by 6. Okay. So here in the problem it says that an object whose weight is 20 Newton on earth. So the weight on earth equal 20 Newton. The weight on earth equal what? 20 Newton. And I need the mass. I need the mass. Which rule I will choose? هنا بسأل نفسي سؤال مهم قوي. أنا عندي weight ومحتاج mass. هستخدم the first rule or the second rule. First rule here weight mass. Second rule here weight and weight. So I will choose surely the first rule. يبقى بسأل نفسي سؤال مهم قوي. أنا عندي إيه ومحتاج إيه وهستخدم أي rule منهم أو أي rule منهم. Here I have weight on the earth and I need mass. So the first rule is suitable for answering this problem. So here I can write that mass equal what? I put my finger or put your pen on mass. It will be equal weight on the earth divide 10. Weight on the earth divide 10. So it will be 20 divide 10. It will be equal 20 divide 10 to what? 2 kilograms. 2 kilograms. So the answer will be surely 2 kilograms because we measure mass by kilogram. We measure mass by kilogram as we have studied before. So the answer will be what? Will be, we will see now, 2 kilograms. So if the weight is 20 Newton on the moon, or sorry, on the earth, the mass on the earth will be 2 kilograms. So when we want mass on the earth, we can divide weight on the earth by 10 as we have studied before from the first rule. Okay, please concentrate. لازم اركز كويس قوي في البروبلم لانها سهله جدا. بليز نركز في البروبلم. لما احتاج احل اي بروبلم بكتب التو رولز قدامي واشوف اي رول فيهم suitable for answering the problem مناسب لحل المساله. Okay. Another question. Match from column E with suitable term in column B. هنا برضو سؤال مهم قوي وسهل لكن في نفس الوقت سلاح ذو حدين. لازم اركز كويس قوي في كل التو column. Before you answer any point of this question, you must write all the two columns. The first column says that Newton, mass, kilogram, and weight. Second column says that gravitational force for an object, measurement unit of mass, measurement unit of weight, amount of matter in an object. So here I read the two columns. هنا قريت كل السؤالين أو كل العمودين before I answer any word of them. Please, in the question of match, read all the two columns before you answer any word of them. So let's start with the first one. Newton, I think it will be the measurement unit of weight. هو وحدة قياس الوزن. Surely, Newton is the measurement unit of weight. So what about mass? The second word, mass is the amount of matter in an object as we have studied. Again, mass is the amount of matter in an object. So here, if you choose a wrong word, you can ممكن تتراجع. لو انا اخترت اي كلمة خطأ ممكن جدا ارجع في كلامي واختار كلمة تانية. فعشان كده please we must concentrate. لازم نركز كويس قوي واقرا السؤال بعناية، اقرا بحرص شديد جدا، وممكن جدا اتراجع عن اي اجابة خاطئة. Okay. Kilogram, the third word, it will be the measurement unit of mass. The measurement unit of mass. So kilogram will be the measurement unit of mass. So what about weight? What about weight? Weight, it will be the gravitational force for an object. It will be the gravitational force for an object. So here I answered all the choices of the match question, but before I answered any word of them, I must read the question carefully. Read the two columns carefully. لازم أقرأ العمودين بحرص شديد جدا وبعناية فائقة جدا. So now let's move to a new question, new type of question, which is give reason. Give reason, I think it's the most favorable question to all the intelligent pupils. هو سؤال مهم جدا وذكي جدا في نفس الوقت ودايما بيحبوه الطلبة اللي مستواهم كويس قوي. Again, give reason question is a very important question for all intelligent pupil, and we must read this question carefully and answer the question simply. مش عايزين إجابات طويلة, but please answer from your own answer. جاوب من إجابتك أنت الشخصية. بلاش نكون حافظين الإجابات، بلاش نكون في كده اسطمبة بنحطها في الإجابات. لا، ممكن جدا أبقى فاهم كويس قوي وأجاوب زي ما أنا فاهم. Okay? Let's start with the first question. The mass of the body on the Earth's surface equals the mass of the same body on the Moon's surface. Here, the mass of the body on the Earth's surface equal the mass of the same body on the Moon's surface. كتلة جسم على الأرض بتساوي نفس كتلة الجسم دوت على القمر. Why? Because we have studied that mass doesn't change. So we can say that because mass doesn't change by changing the place of the body. Again, we can say that because mass doesn't change by changing the place of the body. So again, the question says that mass of a body on the Earth's surface equals the mass of the same body on the Moon's surface. So the answer will be because mass doesn't change by changing the place of the body. By changing the place of the body. Another question of give reason question. Objects falling downward towards the Earth. Objects falling downward towards the Earth. سقوط الأجسام لأسفل في اتجاه الأرض. أي شيء لما بنسيبه من إيدينا بيقع لتحت. Why? Give reason. Anything when you leave it will fall downward. It cannot fall upward or to the right or to the left. أي شيء لازم يقع لتحت، لازم يقع لمركز الأرض. ليه ما يقعش لفوق أو اليمين أو الشمال؟ So it must be لازم يكون في حاجة مهمة قوي اسمها gravity، جاذبية. حاجة قوة مهمة جدا بتأثر على أي شيء that attract anything towards it. So the answer will be that due to the weight of the body. وزن الجسم هو اللي هنسميه gravity، أو الجرافيتي هي اللي هنسميها وزن الجسم. So the answer will be that due to the weight of the body or due to the gravity of the body. So the answer again, objects falling downward towards the earth due to the weight or due to the gravity of the weight. And we mentioned that the great scientist Isaac Newton، العالم الشهير أو العالم الكبير جدا، إسحاق نيوتن هو اللي اكتشف الجاذبية. When an apple fall on him during his sleeping in a garden، في تفاحة وقعت عليه واكتشف إن في حاجة اسمها gravity أو جاذبية، أو هو ده الويت، هو ده وزن الجسم. So imagine that if you throw، لو أنت رميت a paper, very small bit of paper and a pen to the ground, which one of them will go faster, will go first to the earth? Surely the pen. Why? Because the pen has more weight. يعني البن عنده قلم أو البن عنده weight أكتر، وزن أكتر، يبقى هيكون عنده gravity أكتر. So it's very important experiment. Let's now explain it in details. If I throw، لو أنا رميت قلم و bit of paper، ورقة صغيرة جدا، at the same time from my hand, which one will go faster and go further to the earth? Here I have a pen like this and a bit of paper. Okay, both of them are thrown into the ground. Which one will go faster and go further to the earth? I think, or I'm sure that the pen will go faster and the paper will go afterwards. Why? Because the pen has more weight. The pen has more weight. وزن أكتر. Why? Because the pen has more mass, as we have studied. So we can say that the relation between mass and weight is what? Is direct relation. When mass increase, weight increase. Again, when mass increase, weight increase, and the attraction force or the gravity of the body increase. So we can say that when mass increase، نكتب مع بعض، when mass increases، okay, weight increases، weight increases, okay. Also, the gravity of the body or the gravity affecting the body, the gravity affecting the body, okay, increases. So again, when mass increases, the weight of the body increases. Also, the gravity affecting on the body increases. So again, the relation between mass and weight is like what I said before, is direct relation، علاقة طردية, which means that when mass increase, weight also increase at the same time, and when mass decrease, weight decrease also at the same time. So again, the question here says that give reason objects falling downward towards the earth. ليه أي حاجة بتقع للأرض، مفيش حاجة بتقع لفوق أو يمين أو شمال. So there must be، أكيد في قوة بتشدهم لتحت، هي اللي هنسميها الويت أو الجرافيتي، as the great scientist Isaac Newton discovered it. So again, the question says that objects falling downward towards the earth's center. So the answer will be due to the weight of the body, due to the weight of the body, or due to the gravitational force that affecting on this body. Another question. The balance scale should be placed horizontally on a stable shelf or on a stable table. يعني لما أكون بشتري، imagine that like fruits or vegetables, like you know, the balance scale should be placed horizontally on a stable shelf. الميزان لازم يكون موضوع على مستوى أفقي أو ترابيزة أفقية، وكمان يكون رف ثابت أو ترابيزة ثابتة. It mustn't be or it mustn't contain vibration. Why? to measure mass correctly عشان يقيس الماس بشكل صحيح أو يقيس الكتلة بشكل صحيح ما يكونش فيه خطأ أو زيادة أو نقصان. So again, the balance scale should be placed horizontally on a stable shelf. So the answer will be that to measure mass correctly. And also the balance scale should be clean. لازم يكون نظيف ما يكونش فيه أي رواسب من أي حاجة استلها الماس قبل كده. For example, flour, دقيق مثلا, table salt, sugar, fruits, vegetables, and so on. So the the balance scale must be clean, لازم يكون نظيف كويس قوي, and must be stable, لازم يكون ثابت on a horizontal plane or a horizontal table on a stable shelf. على رف ثابت. It mustn't contain vibration. It mustn't move. It must be stable. Why? Give reason. To measure mass correctly. عشان يقيس الماس بشكل صحيح. So now let's have another question of give reason question. The force of moon's gravity is lesser than the Earth's gravity. The force of moon's gravity is lesser than or less than the Earth's gravity. Why? ليه الجاذبية عند المون أقل من الجاذبية عند الأرض؟ I think I said this question in this episode. قلت السؤال ده في نفس الحلقة النهاردة. Because the Earth has more size, more size than the moon. So again, why the moon gravity is lesser than the Earth's gravity? So the answer would be that because the Earth has more size than the moon. The Earth is much bigger than the moon or has mass more than the moon. So it will have more gravity. It will have more weight than the moon. So imagine that I have here the Earth, okay, and the moon. And the moon must be smaller than this. Imagine that يعني, okay. طبعا عارفين كويس قوي ان المون اصغر بكتير من الارض. Which one of them will have more gravity, more weight? Surely will be the Earth. If a person stands here on the Earth and has weight 1,200 Newton, 1,200, on the moon, the same person will have only 200 Newton. Surely 200 Newton. Why? Because the weight on the moon equal the weight on the Earth divide 6. So it will be 1,200 divide 6. It will be 200 only. Okay? So again, the question says that the force of the moon's gravity is lesser than, the force of the moon's gravity is lesser than the Earth's gravity. So the answer will be that because moon size is less than the Earth's size. The moon size is less than the Earth's size, as we have said before. And we can say that because Earth has much size than the moon, more size than the moon, because Earth is more bigger than the moon. So it will have more gravity than the moon. So we must concentrate if that there is two planets, لو في كوكبين, one of them small and the other is bigger, the bigger planet has more weight. The bigger planet has more gravity than the other. Okay? So another question of give reason question, the most favorable question to the intelligent pupils. The question says that the weight of a body in a balloon is smaller than that on the Earth. Again, the weight of a body in a balloon is smaller than that on the Earth. Okay? Let me explain this question because it's a very intelligent question. Okay? Here I have the Earth planet. Okay? And here is the center. Okay. The weight of the body in a balloon, imagine that there is a balloon here. Okay? And we know that the balloon is far away from the center of the Earth. البالون هيكون أكيد أبعد عن مركز الأرض أو عن سطح الأرض. أكيد, surely the balloon is far away from the center or from the surface of the Earth. Imagine that there is a person here, and this person or the same person in the balloon. يعني في شخص في حالة معينة أو لحظة معينة near the surface, and at the same time or in another time, sorry, it will be in the balloon. Which case of them will have less weight? Which case of them will have less weight? Here, if he has here, for example, 1,000 Newton, he will have in a balloon 980 Newton only. Why? It's less than 1,000 because we studied that when the distance from the center increase, what happened to it? Yes, I can hear you. When the distance between the center increase, the weight decrease. So we can write that when the distance increase, the weight decrease. So the question says that the weight of the body in a balloon is smaller than that on the Earth because the distance, or we can say that because when the distance between the center increase, the weight decrease. So the answer will be like that. Let's see the answer. Because in a balloon, the distance from the Earth's center increases, so weight decreases. So the answer again, because in a balloon, لأن لما شخص ركب البالون بعد عن مركز الأرض, so the distance increased and the weight decreased. Another, again, this question is very intelligent question, سؤال مهم جدا وذكي جدا في نفس الوقت. The weight of a body in a balloon is smaller than that on the Earth. So the answer will be, because in a balloon, the distance from the Earth's center increases, so weight decreases. So weight decreases. Okay? Another question. The weight of an object changes according to the planet that the object exists on it. Again, the weight of an object changes according to the planet that the object exists on it. So the answer will be, because weight, as we have studied, changes by changing the place. But I remind you, mass doesn't change here, because weight changes by changing the place of the body. But I remind you, with the most important thing about mass doesn't change from place to place. So again, the question says that weight of an object changes according to the planet that the object exists on it. So the answer will be, because weight changes by changing the place. Because weight changes by changing the place. Okay? Problems. Here I have problem, and also I remind you with the most important thing in the problem. إيه هو أهم شيء في البروبلم؟ I must write the two rules, the two secret rows or the two secret triangles. في مثلثين سريين بحل بيهم أي problem خاصة بالmass and weight. I remind you with them. Okay. Here I have weight on the Earth, mass by 10. Okay. The second law, weight on the Earth also, and weight on the moon by 6. Okay. The first problem says that if a body of weight on Earth equals 60 Newton, calculate the mass of this body on the Earth and on the moon. The mass of this body on the Earth and on the moon. In this question or in this problem, I have a trick. هنا في تريكة مهمة قوي، خدعة ممكن تخدعك كتير قوي ويقع فيها معظم الطلبة. Again, in this question, concentrate. I have a trick here in this problem. Okay? The question says that if a body of weight on the Earth equals 60 Newton, calculate its mass on both Earth and on the moon. So I have here weight on the Earth equal what? Equal 6 Newton, as he said, as the question said. Okay? Here I have weight on the Earth equal 6 Newton, and I need mass on the Earth. Which rule I will use؟ هستخدم أي قانون؟ أنا عندي weight وعايز mass. أنا عندي weight وعايز mass. Okay? So here weight and mass, or weight and weight, surely weight and mass. So mass equal what? Mass equal weight on the Earth divide 10 equal what? 60 divide 10. Surely it will be 6 kilogram. 6 kilogram. So what about the mass on the moon? Here is the mass on the Earth. The mass on the Earth. غلطة مهم كتير قوي بيقع فيها، أو يعني خطأ شائع جدا. حد يقول لي الماس عند المون يبقى هعمل divide 6. Surely wrong. The mass on the moon equals the same number or the same answer of the mass on the Earth. So it will be 6 kilograms. Because we said that more and more mass doesn't change. I said more and more mass on the Earth equal mass on the moon. So if the mass on the Earth equal 6 kilogram, the mass on the moon surely equal also 6 kilogram. يبقى اخد بالي كويس قوي، الماس هي ما بتتغيرش. Mass on the Earth equal mass on the moon. So now we have studied mass and weight. We have explained everything about them. We have made a comparison between mass and weight. We have answered many problems about mass and weight. And now we have come to the end of this episode. And now goodbye and see you soon. Thank you, my dear students of 6th grade primary school. Thank you and goodbye.